I'm Mark Stern, joined by Torie Clarke, author of A Survivor's Guide to Washington, How to Succeed Without Losing Your Soul. Now, Torie, regardless of political affiliation, I think most people paying attention to Washington would agree that it's a very toxic city right now. Is that just a public perception, or is that the reality of things?
I think people overstate things, right? And if you try to take a historical perspective, you're an historian, and you go back to what was going on when this government was first founded, or you look at what was going on during the Civil War, people on the floor of the United States Congress used to beat each other with canes, right? They tried to kill each other. They would pay for tabloids to print just absolute lies about their opponents. I think in some ways we've gotten to become a little prudish and we love to be outraged by things. I don't think it's as bad as some people think. That said, I do think things have changed in this town just in the years I've been here that make it more difficult for them to work together. It makes it more difficult for compromise. So members of Congress, for instance, used to primarily live here, right? They might go back to the districts or the states once or twice a month or for over big breaks, but they and their families were here. And they would get to know one another on a level that went beyond the argument on the floor of the United States Congress, right? They get to know each other's kids. They get to know where their families went to church, where they went to school. They got to know each other as human beings, and then it would be harder to be that toxic, to be that awful on the floor of the United States Congress. So I think there were personal relationships that raised the level of discourse and made it more likely that people would compromise rather than fight. I think one of the worst things that's happened in the last 15, 20 years is that most members of Congress, for instance, spend very little time in Washington. They come here on Monday night or Tuesday morning, maybe they have a few votes, and all they can think of is, I gotta get back to the district or the state on Thursday to raise money to do events. I think that's a problem. And so I think if we could get them to physically spend more time together, they might actually work together more effectively.
All that being said, are you optimistic or pessimistic about Washington's future?
Always optimistic. Always, always, always. And the reason is I was gonna say every day, certainly every week, I meet somebody. I meet some young person or I meet some new person who's come to this town and they want to do good. Maybe they won't. A lot of people have gone down the wrong path, but they want to do good. They want to contribute to the public sector. They have an appreciation and awareness, if you will, with all its faults. Our government is the best around the world. And so I see those people, they continue to be attracted to this town, they continue to come here and work hard, so I'm always optimistic.
Some great words. That's Torie Clarke, the author of A Survivor's Guide to Washington, How to Succeed Without Losing Your Soul. Thank you so much, Torie.
Thanks, Mark.